because now we are talking about playing like a pro, so let's look at the best pro which we have on the chess scene. And he's been like a best pro for many years. Even before becoming the world champion, he was #1 in Elo, so maybe for, I don't know if for 10 years, but around that. And he'll be for quite a few years, because probably, in my opinion, there will appear like a young challenger, much younger than him, which usually occurs. Probably he already is over there playing and already being like a great player, but probably somebody younger. But I want to show you what I've seen in his match with Wesley So, which was the standard which already discussed. This happens to be the third game, as I see it, and I'd like to see it, you know, I'll tell you the time, but I'm putting like this the training mail just not to see the moves, and we are trying together, and then after we see this game, we will see from today's a normal player which plays blitz like nothing even compared, because by coincidence I played the same position. But of course I misplayed it and it was like far. But okay, this was really impressive, and like I told you earlier, it was really impressive that he even made an improvement on his own play, although it finished with different result, but still, you know, it's something extraordinary. So this was the game with I saw. This was played on control 5 minutes plus 2 seconds. But I remember vividly, and we will see it when that it was like he had like 2 minutes left at the end of the board. So okay, he likes to play. Oh yeah, he has played almost every kind of system, because he really plays incredible chess. He even has played here knight f3, knight 6, knight e5, which of course sometimes is difficult to explain even to the younger players, because normally you tell them, you try to develop. Yeah. It's difficult to explain to the younger players, because you say, okay, develop the piece, and then you see one of the best playing knight f3, knight e5. But okay, this is a move like mainly because he wants to acquire a certain type of pawn structure, and he knows so many patterns and so many things about chess, and you know, so many type of position what really to play. And if he doesn't know, he has like incredible intuition. So I've read like a lot of interviews, and I always you know, follow everything about chess. I'm quite interested in chess, really. So okay, I remember one of his interviews of Carlsen. He was saying about his work with Kasparov, and says yes, Kasparov has helped me a lot, and so on and so on. So they document, this was maybe in 2011, 12 or 13, before he was a world champion, but still was obviously #1. And he said, yeah, we are different, but he helped me a lot. He has like a much wider choice of moves he's looking at, so we have a different styles. But if we have to a certain position, and we have to look what move you'll play, almost always. And he was not like arrogant. No, he was telling the truth. I'm much more, you know, precise to find the right move and the right plan, like much faster than Kasparov. So okay, he has the type of talent which is incredible. So they are different like styles, because Kasparov was also incredibly talented, but much more about dynamic. But okay, Carlsen has like incredible intuition, you know, and you can see that when he plays, the lesser time he plays, he's even more stronger than his opponent. So here they played bishop d3, c3, and of course in many of these schemes, these players has played quite a few games, and they've looked them, and when they look them with their understanding, they really know what they're doing. So bishop f4, bishop g4, and okay, with reverse move order, we get the position I got from bishop f4. So let's see, because here there are some details, which then we will look at my game, and I'll tell you the differences. So bishop e7, now not castle. Now he plays bishop h5. In my game, I don't remember if he played castle a6, but still the difference is that So, being a great player, plays it better. I mean, better, you know, just to keep the rook on h8, because you have to play a bishop g6, that to exchange, you know, this bishop. And then, of course, now it's maybe a little bit early to start with rook e3, because it does not make so much sense. I play knight. I still have not castled. So here, he plays h3. But before looking at this game, let's look at the other one. So I'll show you the next one, after playing this incredible game, how he made an improvement. So instead of playing h3, he played h4, saving one tempo. And I'm showing you the game he lost. This was probably, which one? Okay, I'll put it like in notation, because I don't remember if I put which game was. really. No, it was in 3 minutes plus 2 seconds. So it was obviously after that game. But just let me show you. So he played h4, a6, a4. Now he's postponing his castle. Bishop g5, take with a pawn. And now he got obviously no compensation here for the pawn. And he got a very huge advantage. After that, he made some mistakes, which happens when you have less time, and he even lost the game. But he made even an improvement. So the idea of h4, you'll see it if we continue looking at our game. Let's take a look. Let's put this method. And now, after that, after we get some moves, I'll try to show you, because I've put how much time he used. Now, a4. Oh, this is an important thing, that before going to his plan, playing on the king side, obviously, he just receives him here with a4. In my game, I didn't even bother to play a4. But maybe he's right. Maybe he's right, yeah. It makes it slightly more difficult for black, I guess. Although it should not be so much important. But it's about pawn structure, so probably, the world champion really knows like the best way. So I understand that a4, from a positional point of view, it's better just to put, this pawn on a4, because later in the game, if he plays like b5 and b4, it's better, this pawn, just in case, for some further exchange, to be exchanged, just in case. Because if it's not exchanged, it always can be a target. When the pawn is on a4, the best you can do, because, okay, the queen, when he leaves the queen side, it will leave like definitely when you have a real attack going on the king side. So when the pawn is on a4, with the piece we have on the board, you really can attack it. So you can exchange it, making b5 in some moment, but then the only weakness you can get into my queen side will be the pawn on c3, theoretically. When the pawn is on a2, for example, it can become a weakness, or if you put it on a3, it can become a5, b4 in some moment when it can be disadvantageous for you. So his decision to put the pawn on a4, probably he knows exactly what he's doing. So this is one detail which I've seen today. I have forgotten that he put the pawn on a4. But it's better, just to have these things in your memory, just some files, for certain chess patterns, just to know. Knight d7, still postponing, castle. But okay, how much you can postpone it? Rook e3. Okay, here I wanted to tell you what will be the next move, but he already played it. Rook e3. And here I have, before playing rook e3, he thought like 10 seconds, which for him maybe is, no. But okay, he was quite familiar with this position. So rook e3, obviously the rook is waiting for you. And of course, I'll double on the line and waiting to see, okay, what plan do you have? It's very hard to imagine, do you have a plan without short castle, no? And here, for example, we see the great benefit of playing a4. Because, okay, if you have not played a4, maybe I can start, b5, queen b7, still not castling, but here you don't have that. Because I've played a4, you don't have some, extension, some grabbing of space on the queen side, which should be your playing ground. So you don't have that, you don't have the b8 square. So, okay, you have to do what you have to do, the castle, which is not very pleasant. Okay, now when you look at it, it seems like, okay, what's the problem? So let's look at how greatly he played. So now castle, and now the next move was immediately play. You've already seen it, so no doubt about that. H4, here, knight f6. How do we continue? Well, here it still seems that maybe they can hold on. But what white play? How they continue? How we transfer rook on h3? We have to move the knight from f3, no? First he plays queen d, he does not play knight e5 here. So this is very interesting to see how he plays the guy. I thought the whole game was played in less than 3 minutes. So instead of playing knight e5, he plays first the move which sooner or later will be played. So the queen here on d1, allowing you to play b5. So no problem with that. And this was played like Carlsen continues playing very fast. b5, well, this is your playground. You have to get something before something real occurs and it's too late. Like in my blitz game, he played in such not a way which does not make much sense that, okay, the white's attack just build it up very naturally without. Here, of course, we are talking about one of the best players. So Wesley So, although maybe knight d7 which you rightly point out, who does not make like that impression, but he was trying somehow, okay, in blitz game to divert, you know, the opponent from this. Knight e5 now, b4, well, okay. Now even, what we are talking before, I was giving my idea of comprehension. Well, he says, no, I want to keep your pawn on a4 because it can become, you know, some kind of a target. So it's also about the speed here. If you can very quickly gather your pieces and start an attack, because okay, it seems that it's not so easy because the knight is controlling the h5. It seems like you have to know just how to put the pieces just to fluidly to continue an attack. Something which when we are watching it doing it, we say, oh, of course. But okay, it's very difficult. What move to play? What would you play here now? He plays bishop g5. Interesting. Now, of course, bishop g5 targets the knight on f6. So also targets the bishop on e7. You can now exchange immediately on e5 because I can even take you with a pawn, no? And then you lose immediately material. So okay, basically, if you look what he is doing, we are saying, okay, how natural. I don't need anymore the bishop on f4 because he's already played b4 here. So why to control the b8 square? No need. Now bishop on g5, rook h3, yeah, how simple, yeah. But okay, it's different, you know, just to play. And all this played instantly. Rook e8. Now at least, you know, he defends the bishop on e7. Now how do we continue? Do we play rook h3? Do we exchange on c6? Let me show you just how he played. Rook h3. Because now he thinks that, okay, if you take on e5, I'll take, and h5 is prepared already. The queen is on d1. Everything is prepared on the position just to go immediately into attack. So he does not consider that it's really 50 seconds on this move. Not too much, no? But okay, probably in these 15 seconds he considers quite a lot of stuff. You know, what is the right? But basically, I can assure you that it's most about intuition. It's about some calculus, but not a big one. It's about feeling. What do you feel that it's like the best move? And okay, here we have like the best example. Queen c7. Now, queen 7, you know, challenges the knight, but at least it gives me some time, which is important. Knight f3, because now, whether you exchange or after that I exchange and I play knight e5, I will win some tempo. 20 seconds on this move, because this is understandable. He had a choice. So he has to find which is like the right way. In this way, when he plays, he never has to consider something with the pawn on c3, because when he puts knight f3, when you exchange it, I took with the knight, and the pawn is defended with the rook on h3. To get to it with some other pieces, we will need a lot of rearrangement, and probably he considers before you rearrange to attack the pawn on c3, you'll get mated. So this is, I guess, is his consideration. Knight f3, 20 seconds also. Take. Now, rook c8. How do we continue? Black is playing like sensible move, and he is asking, okay, let me see your attack. Well, I think that the following two moves, also he made them quite quickly, because, okay, not anything clear immediately. I mean, some other way. So why not, you know, just to exchange, play the other knight on e5 when he's seeing exactly how to proceed. So he plays here, and now, can he find even to reinforce even his pieces now, or he has to start an attack? Because okay, if you play, let's say h5, and I take with a pawn, I'm not very sure that if you take on f6, you take g6, you're giving me mate. No, I'm defended on f7 with the queen. No. Yeah, you can play g4. This is like the moves most of us will think, and they seem very attractive. But he, you know, because he has a lot of knowledge of deep position, he makes even another move to try to point out some other weaknesses of the black position. So he turned out that also on f7 you have to be careful. So to make h5, even in a better fashion, much more forceful, he plays a move which, when we see it, seems very natural. But many times we don't play, you know. It seems natural when the best players like Carlsen, which is clearly number one, plays it. So what move? Queen f3, no? Yeah, so queen f3, he plays queen f3. 10 seconds. on this move. So obviously for him, it was quite, understandable that the queen should be here. No, they said the last moves were played in like 10 seconds for all of them. So, okay, so quite fast. Bishop d8. Now he defends on f7, and probably it's time for white to get some action. And here, of course, he thought, but let's see how he thought. What do you think that white should play here? Can they make their position better, or it's time to get something going on? No, he decided here that there is time to go and play h5. 5 seconds on this one. So he thinks the world champion, okay, his pieces are in best position here. On pawn takes on h5, probably, as far as I see it, how he should continue after pawn takes on h5. Let's see. No, I'm looking at, let's look together. Because here if you take, I think I have not analyzed this, but probably he wants to play, okay, it's not, he also can play, now he can play also here with the queen on f3, I'm looking at it. I can take and take with the rook on h5, no? Because it's hanging the bishop on f6. So I'm including, now I'm looking at it, just at the board here. So I can include such ideas because the queen on f3 is quite beneficial, no? And take with the rook. Now, if you take on c3, no, probably don't I have this mate? Or maybe not. Maybe rook h8 is not. So I take on c3, maybe it's only continuous, no? Maybe it's not that. I'm looking at this, but I don't see a mate. Maybe because I'm not so good. Check, check. Maybe some ideas with g3, king g2. Let's look at it. Because, okay, it's always better just to look ourselves, not to put like engines, because during a game we have to be... Here I don't see mate, no? No, he'll take on d4. I don't see mate here. So maybe here, the other idea, which we're talking, is quite natural g4 to play here, which looks quite unpleasant. Well, also there is an idea, to be honest, like g3. Oh, I'm hanging here. I can't. And okay, it's not time for such artificial moves like this is king h2, rook h1, this a little bit something. So okay, let's see g4. What happens on g4? Let's play this move. g4. Well, if you take with a pawn, probably you got mated here, no? This seems bad. But maybe it's not so bad. But it has like a feeling that it's not very good. Do we have some ideas if you take with a pawn? What else we can do? Bishop h6? Yeah, you can. But, okay, probably this, which later I thought that maybe not, maybe this is not bad at all, no? Threatening mate, no? And I was thinking this, but maybe here. In rook f3, no? Yeah, okay. Probably this is lost. Yeah. This should be, you can escape because knight g6, no? So it's, okay, that's why it's good, to look on the board, not to look at into some goals, but just to see, okay, what are you doing? Probably here you are, how to put it, like resignable, no? What do you do? Because here, on this I can have a lot of moves, and even okay, probably everything is moving, but on queen e7, probably rook takes on f6, no? Just not to make the team, if it's a team competition, just not to make the team worried about how the game. This was this a phrase which I'm saying is from the book of Karpov. He was playing like one beautiful game. It was maybe Olympiad, and he having a piece up after a very beautiful attack, I think against a Romanian player, and he plays like Queen b7, exchanging the queens. And the comment in the book was for the team not to worry anymore, that it has the point. So that's why I remember this phrase that Karpov was saying in his book. So probably, he knows. So yeah, all right. So probably okay. Wesley looked at it just a little bit because he was thinking, he was like less than 2 minutes less time than because he's under attack. Everybody will think here because all the possibilities does not look beautiful at all. No, 5 seconds on this one. So, and probably okay. He's seen enough of that. So knight takes on h5, I think. Yeah, knight take on h5. How do we continue? Oh, the first move, okay. He takes. Now. And it was interesting till the end, because even at the end it became like a gem. I mean, the whole game I was impressed. Yeah, g4 seems like the most logical, no? Not too many other ways to continue the attack. No, so here, no doubt, he played him instantly. G4, knight f6, and now. Now it's interesting because we have some possibilities. We can play queen h1, which does not seem very natural. We can play king g2, yeah. King g2 seems more into Carlsen style. Let's see what he played. King g2, no? Everything in its place. King g2, g5. This is an interesting move because it neglects the possibility of g5, no? Because it was always hanging. So if you start running with the king, you always have to consider even g5, knight takes on g6, no? At the pin. So he tries to neglect that and hopes that sometimes the queen can appear on c2. And it happened. So he defended quite well in such a precarious, it has to be said. So brilliant play by So, but he was just outplayed this game. It happens, you know. g5. Now, queen e3. This was also not the most obvious move, no? Because you had a choice. But okay, now g5 stops g5 and he wants to run away with the king. So he has to find the best way just to keep him into the line of fire. If you double the rooks, I start running, you know, with the king. So black also defended, like I told you earlier, quite with a lot of imagination. But okay, the world champion played that. And now, of course, you can defend the pawn with knight. Okay, if he takes with the queen on g5, this is like the end. I mean, the end. So, knight e4. Is this the end of the attack? Because okay, he combines, like the greatest player he is, like the greatest now we have, he combines everything with, like all this feeling of vision with, like I told you in the previous time when Tuesday, the same like Karpov, super precision in the spawn lines. Like these 2, 3 lines, like, you know, like computer even better sometimes. So like everything is well. So here, what is the move? How we push away this knight, which wants to put some breaks into our defense. But he decided, I guess, first to play f3. Because, okay, the other move will never escape, you know. So maybe this is like what I said. Maybe you can find just the right combination of the moves. So maybe you'll play rook h1. Maybe queen on g5 is first better. So first f3, because if you take on c3 with the queen, you lose a piece. And if you take with a knight and the queen takes on g5, it's really mate. He takes here. Now, does he double? So he plays queen g5. He doubles here. So probably there was not much of a difference. Queen g5. Did I write? No, this was played everything very quickly. Queen takes on c3. Now also followed quickly because these moves are quite forced. Now, he has 3:40 left now. So, like you see, until now he was played like for a minute and something, this game. Which most of us, if we play in a normal game, should be quite happy, you know. Takes here, queen takes on g7, queen c2. Here he thought a lot, Wesley, and found a very good idea, the only one. Check to control the g6, and now defense. And now he has like 1:55 left, yeah, black. And now it was interesting that maybe this was the moment, yeah, this was the moment the only moment he thought in the game really like 1 minute, here he played very quickly this move. Rook h6, no, here, and now he thought. He thought like 1 minute. Obviously he saw in 1 second that he can play rook takes on e6, check, king takes on e6, queen takes on f8, but we have like one special feature which you probably have seen in the games you've played. The knight normally, when the queen is very close, the knight is like the perfect piece to defend. Because when rook takes on e6, check, king takes on e6, queen takes on e6, I can play knight d6. No more checks, probably you're winning, but still a lot of game. And he felt that maybe here there is something better. And he found it in 1 minute. Let's try together a little bit, you know, to get into his mind and try to find a frost line. Which, the first move is very easy to spot, but the second move we have to find some trick. So, okay, let's start with the checks now, when we're looking at frost lines, no? Because, okay, let's not forget that our queen is attacked now. So if you play like a move, let's say like knight g6, he'll just take it, no? With the queen. And okay, we can take queen f8 and forget that the rook is hanging on g6, and we can even lose the game, which happens to all of us in having short amount of time in blitz games, no? But here he thought, the world champion thought 1 minute. And here it's a very good sign of his intuition. Not that he just found that and how he finished the game, but he felt that here there might be something better, because obviously the other line he saw it immediately. But after rook takes on e6, take on f8, knight e6, there is nothing forced on sign that, like I told earlier, the knight defends well the king, and now the queen, now after one move, the black will be threatening to give some checks with the queen. Okay, it becomes, you know, waters which are not so clear, and you want clarity. And okay, he had time, and he invested this time, this advantage of time, just to find it. The first move, what is one of the first forced moves? What checks do we have? Queen g5, f6. What? f6. Now, don't forget the piece which is defending on h7. No, when he was thinking, here I saw it live, I also a few times thought, okay, but what about h7? And I saw, okay, he can take it, no? Can you find here the move he played? Where can the queen go? And I'll give you with a tempo. So the move is guarding everything and still threatens. I mean, well, even offers you, let me give you a very important, even offers you an endgame, which you can accept.
Queen e3.
No, it offers you an endgame. Yeah. So he found that in 1 minute, which really in such a position when you have options, you know, it's impressive. That's why I put this game into my favorite of blitz beats, because okay, this is impressive now. Oh, queen g6. Yeah, yeah. And this kind of maneuvers in a blitz are very difficult. But the guy thought, and okay, he thought there is something better, and he found it. Okay, he's not winning immediately, because the finish is even more impressive. And of course, the finish after when you can find such details, it's no surprise that you find the finish, because probably you can find whenever it's on the board. So queen g6, 1 minute here. Okay, let's see it like with everything there to see. Now Carlsen, so played after 1 minute of thought, queen g5. Of course, queen 6 was played immediately, but before thinking of queen g5, he thought like 1 minute. Now he has like 2:39 left still after this, you know, and found it. f6, queen g6, queen a4, check. Now this line is also quite beautiful, no? Let me show here. The guy saw that also, no? Which is really impressive, no? This is one of the mates which we see in problems normally, no? Well, so of course Wesley So also, so didn't want to be because he appeared in all the magazines with this diagram, so he didn't want to appear. But still, the finish was also impressive. So he played here king d8, and now the guy thought here, yeah, less than 30 seconds. He had some other options, but okay, this is clearly the best move in less than 30 seconds. Okay, but I believe that if you can find queen g5, queen g6 in 1 minute, then you can find almost everything when you are in such a incredible form and when you are such a chess genius, no? Queen b1 with a very good threat of mate on the last, files, no? This is queen b1, and okay, now was a beautiful execution. Here, knight c6. Well, after queen b1, he have seen even that, check. Okay, just check. Because of the fork only move, no, you have to accept it. Check. And now he resigned. Because of the typical of the studies, this is called, I don't know how it's called in English, but I know it's called like when the generals have this kind of a, here, epaulets, or how they're called, here on their uniforms. So when I give this kind of mate, when your own pieces prevent you from going left or right, they call it in the studies, in the composition, they used to call it like epaulet, like mates with epaulets, so like the uniform of the general. So this is something like that, because your pieces stand in the way, on the left and right of your own king and prevent him from going further, no?
There's a Kasparian book that have that.
Yeah, exactly. And now the trick is if you cover with the queen, I still take and still give you a check on d6 and still win one of the pieces, no? Just not to worry about it. So yeah, this was like really, really impressive. Well, let me show you now what I've played today, which is very, very far away from this. But okay, the move order in our game was like that. That's why it was the same position. So we've played that here. Okay, I mean, this is like if you take on f3, I just take on b7, no? Just in case. Here, and we have the same position, which I have the game here. As far as, I played it, so probably I remember it correctly. I'm not very sure if he played castle a6, maybe he played a6. I played rook e1, castle. Well, castle here is probably prematurely. It's better like Wesley So to play bishop h5, bishop g6. Knight e5, not the only move, but okay. And now you start, moving the bishop towards the rook towards the king's flank. This move, I really don't get the idea, but okay, it makes some f8 square, but I really think this is like a bad move. Here I don't know if I have to include a4. I played straightforwardly here, bishop g6, take, queen d1, gathering some pieces. He took here, knight d7, knight f3. Well, cleaning like the way of my queen, so I have to bring peace, but okay, the pieces are heading towards here. Well, I had some problem with the mouse, this too, so most of the games, like 1 minute went with the mouse, but okay, this is not an excuse. Because of the mistake, is not because of anything, because of just playing bad. So bishop f6, I took, and okay, this is like here, it's a quite easy position, to play even in such a game. So basically, you have like a big advantage. So you have to gather the pieces. You can gather them, queen f4, queen g5. Well, here I've put a few notes, but okay, you don't need notes, which I've looked at it just a little bit after the game. You can have, this kind of attack. You can have queen g5, for example, takes care of this square e7. So you can play knight e5, and then when he plays king e7, you can even put the rook on h7, and even tie him like king e7, rook h7, rook g8, knight g4, threatening rook takes on g7. So he has to play something, in my opinion, like that, which is really a rather sad position. Well, it's not like a false one, but okay, it should be made. Here I didn't play it like a bad move, but this is like more logical. Everything is prepared, so bring the pieces and give him mate. Because here, one of the most unfortunate pieces is the rook on d8. So at least if it was in some other square, when the queen goes to h4, earlier you can play queen on d8, to prevent at least to use this square. The rook on d8 is like playing for my team. Okay, but okay, it happens. So I play knight e5, probably not needed, but not a bad move. And here is some sign that, okay, with d8 you are not, you are getting in some way wiser, but in many other ways, not too much. So I remember that when I was a junior and I played my first in our small countries from the Balkan Peninsula, we played like there was a championship called Balcaniada between Romania, Greece, and my first appearance I was like 14 years old. So I played a similar position, not with a dark pawn, but a similar one after a4, c5, c3 with white. And okay, in this I just played automatically f4, and after a few months I gave him mate. I mean, he was a decent player and I was a normal player, but still it was very natural. So here, I mean, not playing f4 shows that it's not like the only move, but shows that, okay, with the age you have not become much improved. So f4 is very natural here, and then if you want with the queen, you can put it like queen e1, queen h4. But f4 is a move which probably not only Carlsen, but decent player will play like in 1 second. But okay, here I thought that, okay, it's over. And okay, in chess it's never over, especially if you give chance to the opponent. So I play not a bad move, but f4 keeps, everything like around his neck. But here, queen f4, knight takes here, and here oblivious, like I was talking with Dan saying, oh yeah, this guy, okay, now we give him mate, It makes like sad impression. Oh, not like that, I don't talk such way, but okay, joking. And of course, instead of taking with the queen on e5, and then still you have attack, oh, very happy here, and just forgetting about this move. And now no mate anymore. And then I played, I don't remember, the rest of the game is not interesting. I played queen g5, I don't know hit leg, I still got something, I even got at the end winning endgame when I was losing on time trouble, because I had pawn on b7, but still it's, I mean, not to see details like that, even in another game, it makes like a big difference. Because, okay, you can't be too happy, and this is like the essence of the chess game, too happy, okay, now mate, but no mate. Because, okay, when you only get your hopes on the heavy piece, at least look at if the opponent has, some reasonable response, because it's really childish to think like here, okay, queen h4, and okay, you take on g7, you give him checks, but okay, it didn't happen. And this is like one of the important difference in my opinion. But okay, when we talk about Carlsen, let me just finish with one of his games when he was like, I don't know if he was 12. One of the first games which one of the very famous grandmasters like Dolmatov played with him in one of these Moscow Opens. And okay, there was like a boy, 12 years, a boy which like 1 year after that, or maybe around this age, was pressing Kasparov in a match of 2 games. One of them with white, he was completely with a big advantage. Let's say not completely winning, but by the words of Kasparov, he outplayed him completely. And then the second, Kasparov by chance happened to win and to have 1.5 against a half. You can see it on YouTube, a small boy, Carlsen. So he played with Dolmatov, a famous grandmaster, studying many years with Dvoretsky here in Yusupov and so on. He was a world champion, junior champion here. But he played one game with a very young Carlsen, and it was like looking more in action. So because I have one file with the Carlsen teen games, when he was teen, like the most impressive. There are so many. But okay, one of them, the first one I remember, was this one, because after the game, also Dolmatov, remember reading some interview, was saying, okay, this is something incredible. I mean, this boy very soon will crush all of them, which happened. Yeah, so it was not like too difficult to foresee. 2004. So he was 14 years. So a little bit older than I thought, but still very young. So just look at the game, what happens. After that, he played in the same line one active game with a decent, good grandmaster, and of course he made fun of him. I even put this one in my old base. So this, the active chess, very quickly to show you, was like positional lecture. So this one with okay, let me just find it, this one with Argentinian grandmaster, if I have it. Although I want to show just, oh yeah, this is a little bit later. So okay, here e4, and after 10 years, when he was like a well-established number 1, he played in rapid game with Rodriguez from Uruguay, a very good tactical grandmaster and very good player. And it was like, positional lecture, in 20 moves he was ready to resign. So just first this one, and first, you know, the young Carlsen. And this was in rapid chess. Here, knight c3. Dolmatov was in normal chess. So here, no, he played knight f6. Let me show you. Knight f6. Take here, d4. So okay. So you see many exceptions in chess. So now he can play another time with the pawn because he thinks that he'll be able to exploit your light squares. And also, he thinks that the tempo he has given you, he'll be given it back because when I offer you exchange of the light squares, you have to lose a tempo, getting your bishop in some kind of a not very good position, losing this tempo back and giving it back. And also if you exchange it, who will got your light squares and the problems on the e file. So it has some logic. Queen d7, knight c3, bishop d3. Now he does not want to exchange it, but okay, you'll see the consequences. d5, making sure that you have some white holes in your position. Take, a3. No, it was like very easy win for Carlsen. Not as impressive as the other one with Dolmatov, but it was like, you know, like easy play. Oh, we've seen that even before the 20th move, even on the 15th move, we can say that black is completely lost with the knight on e6, no? And the rest was just, yeah. So no fight at all. But okay, this one with Dolmatov, I wanted to show you. e5, because Dolmatov in 2004 was where he's now also was for many years a coach of the Russia. I played against Russia when he was coaching Russia. I have very good memories of especially of, because I've played, this is just a curious fact. It's not, I have not won a game. I played 3 times, but okay, I've played 3 times against Russia. One was just to tell you this is true. It's a curious fact, it doesn't have any importance, but I always enjoy it as a fact because it will not change. So I played 3 times against Russia. 1 time was on my first Olympiad in '94 with Kasparov, Kramnik. I played with Svidler and Barev, and it was a great pleasure on Moscow, in the center of Moscow, to crush Russia and the whole team to be gathered but their coach, and just to give them a very bad lecture. Although they won the Olympiad at the end, yeah, they won the Olympiad. But Ricardo Kasparov got mated. You can see this game by Topalov with white on the 7th rank with two rooks after like 25 moves. So it was a crushing defeat. I was better with Svidler. He offered a draw with white. And okay, so I played 3 times against Russia, and we had 3-0 against Russia. I will not play anymore with Russia, this is for sure. So it will stay forever. Some of other players of our team played some other time and they lost. So I'm the only one who played 3 times and 3 times raw. So it will not change. It does not have any importance, but okay, at least it stays. So okay, it was very good when we played with Russia. When I was playing, although I have to repeat, I made 2 draws with Zvyaginsev, with Fidel, and 1 having a very good position. I have 1 loss, and we won this with 2.5, 1.5 against Grishchuk. Yeah, the guy played well, but I had a very good position, but then misplayed in, because this was the only Olympiad, the last one, which I really prepared for the Olympiad, and I played French, which I almost never played in my life. So I prepared like a new opening, and with Grishchuk I got a good position, but after that played badly, and the guy crushed me with an attack, quite deservedly so. So e5, knight c3, knight c6, take, and now we see again this motive. So it was quite familiar with Carlsen. The second game we saw 10 years after that to play in this position, d4, and to put, accent on development, and mainly on the fact that it's not very easy to find like a safe place for your king. Now we have some, here I've commented some lines, theoretical, but let's look at the game because it's a real gem. Queen d4. Well, he's happy to give you the pawn on c4. He plays bishop c4, just like Morphy, no problem, and just like Fischer, Here, knight f6. Dolmatov, of course, doesn't want with 14 years both, to take some pawns and to get into history. He thought that he would better stay out of history, but he get, just right into it. But okay, for his justification, now he can be proud of this game because now Carlsen is a world champion, so okay. Bishop g5, b5, bishop b3, but a very natural play. Bishop e7, and see his piece. Every one of them is participating. Now on d5, he can play rook h1, and there is, okay, just my comments here. On d5, trying to block the pieces here, there is this double attack. Many times we will mention, but I already talked with you that this is one of the most used weapons in chess, the double attack, like the most effective. Here touching the pair of bishops, just to be sure that your opponent does not enjoy the pair of bishops, just in case. Not after the game to say, I had the pair of bishops. So you win one of them, just never to boast with his pair of bishops, just in case, no. He played queen d7, Dolmatov, rook e1. Now the problem, which I've put in my comment, that on long castle, you have problems with g4, no? So the square e6 if you move the bishop, and if you take, there is hanging pieces on the e line. Like this line, okay, just to show you is good now. Here, the type of lines which, even from very early age, Carlsen was seeing quite precisely till the end always. So here, king d8 out of necessity. I mean, here everything is bad. So it may be strange for you to say, Dolmatov, such a good grandmaster, play king d8. Well, when you see him play king d8, it's not because the life is very good, no. It's because the white has become, so you see that on long castle there is g4, and on d5 there is simple taken, no? And now everything crashes, Now he begins to take everything, and so king d8, let's try to run away. But okay, the easiness with which he developed the attack is really mind-blowing. Rook takes on e7. Just like you're watching the game of Morphy. Exactly. Rook takes on e7. Now, he took with the queen, but if he takes with the king, check. Here, okay, I mean, if you play king f8, I just take on f6, no? Everything is hanging. Here, check. Just in case, no? Simple chess, but very, very effective. Queen takes on e7, queen f4. We just talked about the most efficient chess weapon, double attack, touching on d6 and on f5. Now there is no way to save the game. Well, just let's see this line, take. Where do you go, no? I can even take I take on c6. Oh no, I can even on king c8. How do we win in the simplest way? Bishop f6, bishop e6. Yeah, and always on queen e1, we can cover both ways. We can even cover with a tempo rook d1 if we want, even with this, yeah. And it's the end. So here, bishop d7. Oh, maybe this is like the interesting one I should give. Yeah, but okay, let's just look at the game. Knight e4. Well, really like how the chess should be played, Because okay, here like the sad impression and the big difference, because white is playing with more pieces. Because what are doing really the rook on a8 and on h8? Well, basically watching, the black position getting destroyed. Knight e4, d5, knight f6. Well, now it's over. Okay, this is also complete fiasco, just something like that, everything hanging. Okay, he could have resigned here, but okay, he played like h6 only move here, g5, queen d4, and here on the 19th move against the 14-year-old, he resigned. But okay, he resigned because he didn't want, to look at this position. So this is, what we had like in potential, like the world champion. And it's very good that not only he realized that, but he realized many, many more things, like everything he could handle. So it's really, for me, it's a real luck for us that we have such a world champion and he can display so many aspects of chess, and it really moves forward the game. So I believe that, almost every game you touch of him, you can always learn something. That's why when I started many years ago to look at his game, I was looking even from his young age, and you always found a very incredibly mature chess and versatile. I mean, everything could be done well. And okay, at least always when you look at it, we can learn a lot of these things and try to improve on them. So okay, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll continue like the times. And okay, we will look also with some other players, not think that it's only Carlsen, because there are a lot of incredible players, and we can always look at some good things and to enjoy them. So thank you for today, and till very soon.